The woman with two faces.
Everyone seems to be a little unnecessarily heated. Don't forget where you are, please.
Don't move.
Wait, I don't...
So you've come at last.
Easy. Let me turn around. Oh my God, Mother, what has happened to you?
Who are you?
What? But, Mother!
Who are you?
It's me, Louis, your son.
No, you lie. You won't catch me out like that. Louis isn't here. He obeys his mother. He would never have come here.
Mother, I don't know what you've been through, but lower your arm, please.
You think I was born yesterday, do you? But it won't work.
I'm begging you.
One day you will fall.
Mother!
Why are you here?
I received a letter from Lord Mortimer inviting me
That's
to...
enough. You want to corrupt us all, one after the other. But you will never get me. You are evil incarnate. Every word that comes out of your mouth is sharper than a razor blade.
I don't wish you any harm. Really, Mother. It's me, Louis.
Don't speak to me about him. You will never get him.
Mother, stop torturing yourself. It really is me, Louis. How can I convince you?
If you really are who you say you are, what was the saying I taught you?
You've been telling it to me since I was 3 years old, Mother. How could I ever forget it? Always keep your mind logical. And open.
You knew it. You are smart. You're getting me muddled up. Tell me, rather, whose place were we at when I told you I was coming here?
Mother, I really am your son. You can't trick me. We were in Paris. We were investigating an art dealer.
His name?
His name was Von Mortret.
Wrong.
No, wait, it's just a detail. He lived in Paris, near the Notre Dame Cathedral. We investigated him for 3 months. He made a fortune by taking advantage of gullible collectors of Parisian high society.
You're a good actor.
He was an ancient art dealer. He had the book, Al-Azif.
And that's what you wanted to get out of me, wasn't it?
Not at all. We unmasked him, but then he came after us. We escaped, but you didn't want me to intervene. I listened to you, and we knocked him out.
What? How? You can't know about that. Louis, no. Is it really you? No! It's not true. It's a nightmare. Don't tell me that. Have you spoken to him?
Oh, shit. She's completely panicked because I spoke to Mortimer. It seems she's afraid of what he might have said to me about her.
Did he speak to you?
Naturally. Even though I had to wait 3 days for him to see me, we met only this morning.
You've been here for the past 3 days?
Yes, why?
If you really are who you say you are, then you'll do what I ask of you.
Which is?
A conference is going to be held. You will attend on my behalf.
No, wait, Mother. No one cares about...
You will be invited and you will go. Mortimer will present a project. Whatever this project is...
But...
Whatever the project is, I want you to learn as much as you can about it. You'll have to get by as best you can, but we must find out what it's about. Do you understand?
Don't you think that before all that, there are a few issues to be addressed?
Do you understand?
Yes. All right, I understand.
I'll explain afterward, but right now you must go to the conference. Go now!
You do realize you're still treating me like
Go!
If you aren't there when I get back, I warn you. One more thing, Mother. Emily Hillsborough, Emma's sister, came to this island looking for her sister. She probably won't hesitate to take revenge and...
It's the signal that the conference is starting, Louis. Don't be concerned about the Duchess. She's the last of our worries.
Monsieur de Richet, you're the only one missing at the conference. Please join the guests. Monsieur de Richet, you're the only one missing at the conference. Please join the guests. Monsieur de Richet, you are expected at the conference. Please take the door to your left to join the guests.
Respect to any other characteristic.
Totally wrong, I assure you.
I have suspected it.
That does seem the same.
But with respect to any other characteristic, I do not imagine that much has been unfolded. By all that I have ever read, I'm convinced that it is very common indeed.
No, if you are serious about it, I shall consider the matter absolutely settled.
Certainly, sir. Allowing the case, however, to stand according to your representation, you must remember.
She's not acting by design, is she?
Not as you represent it.
But with respect to any other characteristic, I do not imagine that much has been unfolded.
By all that I have ever read, I'm convinced that it is very common indeed. Your plan is a good one.
She's not acting by design, is she?
Not as you represent it.
But with respect to any other characteristic, I do not imagine that much has been unfolded.
By all that I have ever read, I'm convinced that it is very common indeed.
No, if you are serious about it, I shall consider the matter absolutely settled.
Certainly, sir. Allowing the case, however, to stand according to your representation, you must remember.
She's not acting by design, is she?
Not as you represent it.
But with respect to any other characteristic, I do not imagine that much has been unfolded.
By all that I have ever read, I'm convinced that it is very common indeed. Your plan is a good one.
She's not acting by design, is she?
Not as you represent it.
But with respect to any other characteristic, I do not imagine that much has been unfolded.
By all that I have ever read, I'm convinced that it is very common indeed.
No, if you are serious about it, I shall consider the matter absolutely settled.
Certainly, sir. Allowing the case, however, to stand according to your representation, you must remember.
She's not acting by design, is she?
Not as you represent it.
But with respect to any other characteristic, I do not imagine that much has been unfolded.
By all that I have ever read, I'm convinced that it is very common indeed. Your plan is a good one.
She's not acting by design, is she?
Not as you represent it.
But with respect to any other characteristic, I do not imagine that much has been unfolded.
By all that I have ever read, I'm convinced that it is very common indeed.
No, if you are serious about it, I shall consider the matter absolutely settled.
Certainly, sir. Allowing the case, however, to stand according to your representation, you must remember.
She's not acting by design, is she?
Not as you represent it.
But with respect to any other characteristic, I do not imagine that much has been unfolded.
By all that I have ever read, I'm convinced that it is very common indeed. Your plan is a good one.
She's not acting by design, is she?
Not as you represent it.
But with respect to any other characteristic, I do not imagine that much has been unfolded.
By all that I have ever read, I'm convinced that it is very common indeed.
No, if you are serious about it, I shall consider the matter absolutely settled.
Certainly, sir. Allowing the case, however, to stand according to your representation, you must remember.
She's not acting by design, is she?
Not as you represent it.
But with respect to any other characteristic, I do not imagine that much has been unfolded.
By all that I have ever read, I'm convinced that it is very common indeed. Your plan is a good one.
She's not acting by design, is she?
Not as you represent it.
But with respect to any other characteristic, I do not imagine that much has been unfolded.
By all that I have ever read, I'm convinced that it is very common indeed.
No, if you are serious about it, I shall consider the matter absolutely settled.
Certainly, sir. Allowing the case, however, to stand according to your representation, you must remember.
She's not acting by design, is she?
Not as you represent it.
That does seem
But
as
with
if
respect to any other characteristic, I do not imagine that much has been unfolded.
By all that I have ever read, I'm convinced that it is very common.
It's not sound.
Good evening, gentlemen. Are we ready? The much-awaited conference is about to begin.
That is what we have all been waiting for.
I believe that Lord Mortimer wishes to speak to you before it begins. You should go and see him. Are you quite sure, sir? Is there not a little mistake somewhere?
Yes, because she asked him at last, and he could not help answering her, but she said he seemed quite angry at being spoken to.
But it is not sound. You know it is not sound.
Your conjecture is totally wrong, I assure you.
I have suspected it for some time, but now I am convinced.
I have already told her so once, by your desire.
Are you quite sure, sir? Is there not a little mistake somewhere?
Yes, because she asked him at last, and he could not help answering her, but she said he seemed quite angry at being spoken to.
But it is not sound.
A chest with a motif representing the alchemical symbol
Your
of
conjecture
water.
is totally wrong, I assure you.
I have suspected it for some time, but now I am convinced.
I have already told her so once, by your desire.
Are you quite sure, sir? Is there not a little mistake somewhere?
Yes, because she asked him at last, and he could not help answering her, but she said he seemed quite angry at being spoken to.
But it is not sound. You know it is not sound.
Your conjecture is totally wrong, I assure you.
I have suspected it for some time, but now... I am convinced.
I have already told her so once, by your desire.
Are you quite sure, sir? Is there not a little mistake somewhere?
Yes, because she asked him at last, and he could not help answering her, but she said he seemed quite angry at being spoken to.
But it is not sound. You know it is not sound.
Your conjecture is totally wrong, I assure you.
I have suspected it for some time, but now I am convinced.
I have already told her so once, by your desire.
Are you quite sure, sir? Is there not a little mistake somewhere?
Yes, because she asked him at last, and he could not help answering.
I don't know if you ever found what you were looking for in the garden, but Mortimer is waiting for you. I suggest you get a move on.
You say it as if you were afraid of him.
I have suspected it for some time, but now I am convinced.
I have already told her so.
I sense that you have things you'd like to say, but something's holding you back. What is going on between you two?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I believed in him. I followed him to the best of my ability. I championed his ideas, defended his decisions, and then, without even realizing it, I became lost. The siren's song, Mr. de Richet. You wake up one morning, not knowing where you are, and you think about everything you've done for a man who wasn't even worth it. For a man who has no respect for you, who uses you, and who drops you as soon as he no longer needs you. For me, it's too late now. But you still have a choice. Don't respond to his call, sir.
I have already told her so once, by your desire.
Make haste, de Richet. Mortimer's waiting for you.
Yes, because she asked him at last, and he could not help answering her, but she said he seemed quite angry.
My son, glad you're here. It seems Lord Mortimer's been waiting for you to arrive before beginning. What a pity your mother isn't here for the conference. I hope I'll be able to see her before I leave. I still have a very important letter to give to her.
Feeling all right, Louis? You look like you're miles away.
Everything's fine. Don't worry.
Lord Mortimer wants to talk to you, Louis. Don't make him wait.
Indeed, I rather believe he did. I heard something about him, but I hardly know what. Clearly, there cannot be two opinions on that.
Amber.
Upon word. Well, very decided indeed.
That does seem as if you come to nothing.
She's not acting by design, is she? Not as represented. But it is...
To any other character. I do not imagine that much has been unfolded.
By all that I have ever read, I'm convinced that it is very common indeed. Your plan is a good one.
Ah, Louis, I've been expecting you. Thank you for joining us. We are about to begin our conference. Let me explain what is at stake.
Thank you kindly, but what do you expect of me exactly? My mother's the one who's supposed to attend, not me.
That is indeed what was initially intended. Unfortunately, she still hasn't been found, and my guests can't stay here indefinitely. The conference must begin, and it would be truly beneficial to the Order to join in the project. Consequently, I would like you to replace her during her absence. What is at stake here is of the utmost importance.
It's important that the French Order gets their say. And should you need any advice, don't worry. You are not alone, Louis.
Very well. Can you give me a brief explanation of the aim of it all?
Of course, Louis, I was coming to that. The aim of these meetings is to bring together the most influential people in order to think together about the future.
But the future of who?
Of the world, Louis.
Our desire is to steer the destiny of our respective countries for the good of all, and to no longer suffer the random hazards of history.
In concrete terms, how do you organize your discussions?
A conference is always organized the same way. There are two masters of ceremony who determine an important subject.
You and Sir Gregory, I presume.
Exactly. We shall be the masters of ceremony. It was our obligation to each bring to the table several guests in order to debate a subject. Once the debate is closed, a decision will be made by a vote of all the participants.
By a unanimous vote. If the project is not agreed on by all, then it will be rejected.
And neither of the two masters of ceremony have the right to vote.
It's up to the guests alone to decide, Louis. In other words, us.
Gregory and myself are merely the go-betweens. Finally, if the project is validated, each guest goes home and starts working to make it happen.
It can take years.
Can you give me an example of an event that was decided here before being implemented in the outside world?
Well, take the French Revolution. It was decided right here 2 years before its implementation in France.
Concerning the case of the French Revolution, I wasn't invited. But as far as the American Revolution is concerned, Louis, I can testify that we planned it 5 years before implementing it, for example.
How long have you been active?
Oh, this tradition has more or less always existed, Louis. It has continued from generation to generation.
Do you often hold this kind of society dinner?
In general, once a year, but in actual fact it tends to be events that dictate our gatherings. Louis, let me keep you a moment. I would like to let you in on a secret before we begin, because I'm going to need your assistance. You see, the project I'm going to present concerns the territory of Louisiana in North America. It's currently Spanish territory, and I'm going to make the proposition to the Assembly for it to become French.
But how does that concern me?
Well, you see, I prepared this project with your mother. We began thinking about a crazy idea. Unfortunately, Sarah went missing before getting the bigger picture. I don't intend to stop at Louisiana. My idea is to increase the territory of the United States. The first stone of this vast project consists of getting Spain to cede Louisiana to France. Once it becomes French, France will hand it over to the United States, which will then allow them to double the size of their territory. And that's where you come in. France and the United States, hand in hand, two democracies illuminating the world.
Lord Mortimer, I'm sure you're aware that Louisiana is hardly prime quality land. I wouldn't be exaggerating to call it marshland. How is acquiring land they won't know what to do with going to strengthen the United States?
Think further, Louis. The United States won't stop there. Once they've acquired Louisiana, nothing will stop them. All they would have to do then is keep pushing toward the west to take the whole North American continent.
So you intend to get rid of the Spanish?
They are purely transitory. This is the settlers' home. It is natural for them to want to develop their nation to become one of the greatest powers of this world. As for the Spanish, there are just a handful of them actually on site, and if need be, we'll see to it that they are sufficiently occupied in Europe so that their focus is not on the North American continent. Moreover, Spain really only cares about its colonies in South America. It's hardly my fault if they are not capable of seeing the potential in the North American territories. The concept of royalty is from bygone times. It is time to lead the way to democracy. Take a look at them. Apart from President Washington, they all belong to monarchies. Do you really think they won't resist? Of course they'll fight, fearful as they are of losing their precious privileges. But the world needs visionaries, like you, like your mother. It's a pity Sarah isn't here to see it. She only knew about a tiny part of the project. I hope I can count on you, Louis. It's time to start now. I must ask you to keep it to yourself for the time being. Take a seat, follow the discussions. We'll have an opportunity to catch up later, and you'll be able to let me know your thoughts.
Blast it, Mother. You didn't know about everything. His project is commendable. Why tell me to beware? Could you have gotten it wrong?
I can tell you that someone is an idiot.
My friends, I propose we get started. First of all, I would like to thank you for taking the time to come.
The honor is ours, my lord.
As per our custom, here we are all together to discuss the face of tomorrow's world. Even though there may be certain tensions between our nations, I must ask you to keep an open mind. As Sarah de Richet is unable to be among us, please welcome Louis de Richet, who will represent the Golden Order and will vote on its behalf when the time comes.
Welcome among us, Louis.
Welcome, Monsieur.
I hope he'll be more effective than his mother regarding the protection of the King of France. The Order has proved particularly inefficient.
Come, Manuel, you're not going to spoil our visit. The Order's mission was not to protect King Louis XVI, as far as I am aware.
We are talking about a king of divine blood, for goodness sake. It seemed obvious to me he needed protecting. If the Golden Order wants to pride itself on being an influential organization, it should have kept him alive.
I'm sorry about the fate of the King of France, Duke Manuel. However, I'm surprised at your remark. How can a man like me have changed the course of things where a man like you, powerful, capable of influencing international politics, was unable to do any better?
Perhaps we may begin, Lord Mortimer.
Certainly. I have a dream that our nations will continue to support each other, more now than ever before. A dream that, for the sake of common good, we will do what it takes to ensure stability in the modern world. I have a dream that we shall lead by example and ensure that the American territory may remain in peace.
Thank you for the thought, Lord Mortimer, but I don't see where you're leading.
I'm coming to it, Mr. President. I need not remind you that North America is currently divided between the United States on the East Coast and Spain, which occupies the remaining 2/3 of the continent. Well, I propose that Spain cede the center of the continent to France, namely all of Louisiana.
Louisiana? But, well, it is not for sale. Lord Mortimer, I sincerely hope I have not come all this way just to hear you ramble on about what Spain should and should not do. When we went to all the trouble of gaining the territory a few years ago, it was not just to lose it today. Have I made myself clear?
What did I tell you, William? You speak of union, and yet here you are, about to tear us apart.
Duke Manuel, I perfectly understand you. But rest assured, you will soon adore my proposition. You shall see.
Well, since you give me the choice, my good fellow, allow me to doubt it. However, I am impatient to hear what Spain could possibly gain from the sale of Louisiana.
I never spoke of a sale, my good fellow.
What? I do not understand.
There is one more territory left to conquer, if I'm not mistaken, in the northwest. It is, of course, occupied by your notorious Indians, but...
We shall soon be rid of the savages, so that is not the question.
Duke Manuel, I believe that Spain should cede Louisiana to France free of charge.
This is utterly grotesque, Lord Mortimer. What a strange example you set for your young protégé. Isn't that so, Monsieur de Richet? Do you understand anything of this proposition?
We are neighbors, Duke Manuel. Remember, your main rival in Europe is more likely to be England, who is plowing the seas right up your coastline. Hand over Louisiana to France and make her a prime ally.
Come, Louis. Spain and Great Britain are already allies and have nothing to gain by breaking their alliance.
Even if I do agree, Duchess, the omnipresence of the English fleet in Atlantic waters does not particularly please me.
I must say, William, I find your project mostly disfavors me. I thought you were my friend.
And I am, Mr. President. That is why I'm doing everything in my power to calm your expansionist fervor. France, in Louisiana, should persuade you not to attempt anything to take the territory by force. Louisiana is a vast wetland where you would needlessly lose most of your troops. It would weaken you and offer certain nations the perfect opportunity to take back your famous United States. I am protecting you from yourself, George. Trust me.
I understand. But with friends like you, sir, I certainly don't need any more enemies. I hope you know what you're doing.
Am I imagining things, or does it look like Washington isn't aware of Mortimer's plan?
Not to put too fine a point on it, Lord Mortimer, but I doubt the Holy See would be in favor of Catholic Louisiana being handed over to secular revolutionaries and king killers.
I should think Monsieur de Richet has an opinion on this subject, does he not?
If France took the Papal States, their opinion over the sale of Louisiana would be definitely resolved.
Good Lord. You are talking of an invasion of Italy.
Don't take it the wrong way, Your Eminence. Colonization brings with it many benefits. You'll see.
Very funny, Monsieur de Richet. Mi auguro che insegnerete l'educazione a questo giovanotto presuntuoso, Sir Gregory.
I hope that you will teach this pretentious young man some manners, Sir Gregory. It looks like I won't be just making friends here.
In any case, my lord, I doubt the English crown will agree.
Ich versichere Ihnen, Emily, nie Preußen wird diese Vereinbarung akzeptieren.
I assure you, Emily, the Prussian will never accept this agreement. Volner looks like he's set on ruining Mortimer's plan.
Duchess, I am persuaded that we shall find a common ground.
That's enough, William. These are grave times. We don't care about the fate of Louisiana. That worthless expanse of putrid swamps interests no one but yourself.
Speak for yourself, my friend.
Hold on there, Mr. Royal Gigolo. Lower the volume, and let Sir Gregory finish.
Home, Godoy, and now Volner? Mortimer's adversaries are ready to tear each other to pieces, and he takes a malicious pleasure in watching it happen.
How dare
Gentlemen, let us try to remain calm.
There you are, William. See where your projects have taken us, as per usual. Chaos! That's enough. I'm tired. We shall continue this discussion tomorrow, but please be aware that your project will never be ratified. Those who are opposed to this project, follow me. Are you coming with us, Monsieur de Richet?
Come, Gregory, I think Louis would rather stay. Wouldn't you, Louis?
As for me, I think I shall remain with Lord Mortimer, Sir Gregory.
You are committing a grave error, Louis.
Time will tell.
My friends, I would like to thank you for staying.
Good God, William. What is this I hear about you reinforcing military power in Louisiana? I have no interest in having France for a neighbor, and you know that very well.
Calm down, George. Louis, explain our plan to Mr. Washington, please.
I would have been only too glad to, Lord Mortimer. Unfortunately, I'm not sure myself that I have fully understood all the details of your plan.
Oh, Louis. President Washington, the United States will double in size.
By what miracle have you...
You need to expand, George. You and France are the two major democracies in the modern world. It is necessary that you both become superpowers.
Are you really going to sponsor democracy throughout the world?
Of course, Monsieur Peru. That's why I don't want Spain to get too attached to those weapons. Please continue, Louis. Explain my vision to Mr. President.
Between you and me, Lord Mortimer, I'd rather let you explain.
That's why you need to expand, George. And I don't just mean Louisiana. That's just the first step. You will soon take over the whole of the northern continent. You will become a nation, able to compete with any of the superpowers of Europe or elsewhere.
But why didn't you tell me before?
George, I was banking on your surprise. The more Gregory thinks I'm weakened, the broader my scope of action will be.
William, you haven't changed. Always one step ahead.
One step ahead? You're joking. More like 5.
On that note, my friends, it's getting late. Mr. President, continue to take offense over my project when we resume the conference in the morning. You do it to a T. And if Sir Gregory has the audacity to send you an emissary to convince you to go against me, do me a favor. String him along if you can. The more they believe we are divided, the more we'll have our hands free.
Only too happy to oblige.
Now, let us get some rest. We've got a big day tomorrow. Good night, gentlemen.
Good night.
Louis, if you have a minute, I would like to ask a favor of you. I'm going to require your services.
How can I be of help? Tell me all about it.
Our adversaries are many, and the closing vote of the conference will soon be upon us. Time is of an essence, so I'll need you to assist me this evening.
How can I help?
I need you to go this very evening to persuade Signor Godoy to join us. He is the backbone of Gregory's resistance. Turn him round, and all the others will follow in such a stampede that Gregory will be able to do nothing but admit defeat.
Lord Mortimer, with all due respect, don't you think I'm the last person Godoy wants to talk to?
I'm sure you can do it. I believe in you.
Lord Mortimer, you're not telling me everything.
Let's say I wouldn't disapprove if the Right Honorable, though nonetheless choleric, Duke Manuel put you in his bad books. If it could motivate him to declare war on France, it would greatly serve our interests.
War? What do you mean?
I told you before the conference. The more we distract Spain from the Americas, the less it will have an eye on Louisiana.
But all the same, we're talking about a war in Europe.
Don't worry. That's why Mr. Bonaparte is with us. I am convinced we'll be perfectly capable of managing the conflict. And Senor Godoy is not a great soldier. He will not commit Spain to a long war that he won't be capable of managing.
I'll go straight away.
Thank you, my boy. And get some rest afterwards. Big day tomorrow.
Aren't you afraid our projects for Italy may be discovered before we... Oh, please excuse us, Louis, but I need to speak with Lord Mortimer in private.
No. What do you want, Louis?
When are we supposed to vote?
The conference resumes tomorrow morning. That leaves little time for the little favor I spoke to you about.
Indeed. I'll go straight away. I'm going to have a word with Duke Manuel, but you know him better than I do, I believe.
Yes. Avoid any marks of respect and protocol pertaining to his rank. He's not fond of courtly manners.
Thank you for the advice, my lord. I shall be leaving you.
What can I do for you, sir? I am at your service day and night, sir.
Have you seen Duke Manuel?
The Duke is in the dining room, sir.
Duke Manuel?
Well. Monsieur de Richet, I was not expecting you. I am not in the mood, sir, I warn you. What do you want from me, sir?
Duke Manuel, I've come to talk. A distinguished man like yourself will not let a small disagreement get in the way of progress. I'm convinced that we can come to an arrangement that will satisfy, well, all parties. Lord Mortimer's project could be beneficial for everyone.
How dare you stand here before me after that conference? Never will I follow France, monsieur. Never. Just tell me one thing, monsieur. Why did you side with Mortimer? He is alone, isolated. The United States can do nothing to help you, and France is surrounded by over 10 countries just waiting for the word to pounce. Really, I do not see why you choose Mortimer.
But, monsieur, just think about it. It will enable the United States to become a giant democratic state. What a message for the rest of the world.
We will shove your damn democracy down your throat, de Richet. I will raise the whole of Europe against you. How could you ever think a pup like you could manipulate me in this way for a single second? Never will I follow you. Let me tell you that not only do I refuse any collusion with you, but I will go much further. I declare war on you, Monsieur de Richet. On you, on your family, on your country. I will give you war like you have never seen before. Now get out of here!
Well, I hope Mortimer knows what he's doing, because he's going to get his bloody war. Manuel, I'm very surprised by your response.
Get out of here!
Well, that's one thing out of the way. The only thing left to do is wait for the conference to resume tomorrow morning.
Monseigneur, His Eminence Cardinal Piaggi. Huh, that's me.
Good evening, Monsieur le Français.
Duchess, you're here. What a charming surprise. I'm beginning to think you can't be without me.
You have managed to penetrate my armor, sir. Am I disturbing you, perhaps?
Emily, if you don't mind, I've had an exhausting day. I can hardly stand.
Are you sending me away?
No, not at all. But I was thinking of going to bed, to be honest.
Would there perhaps be a little space for me in your large and cold bed?
Now, don't take this the wrong way, Emily, but I have to turn this proposition down, as tempting as it is. It's late. It's going to be a big day tomorrow. We'd better get some rest in our rooms.
Very well, I understand.
Good night, Emily. Sleep tight.
Thank you. Same to you.
My friends, do not worry. I assure you that Lord Mortimer's plan will never see the light of day. I shall deal with informing our allies, but for the time being, I need you to make a stand.
What do you think about Monsieur de Richet?
I don't know yet. I feel there's great potential in him. He looks like he can be trusted. And Duchess Hillsborough. Why isn't she here? She's busy. Don't worry about her.
Oh, isn't it time to replace her?
Not so fast, sir. She is an important figure. You ought to have a little more faith in her. What are we going to do about Washington? He will be a hard nut to crack. On our chessboard, he is Mortimer's king. Don't worry. Mr. President only wants one thing: to keep his dear America united. He won't jeopardize everything he has achieved on a whim. He has been serving Mortimer for quite some time. It won't be easy to bring him around. Do you feel all right, Mr. Godoy? You haven't said a word.
Please excuse me, gentlemen. I feel tired.
Oh, I see. I think it is high time you left us then. Now!
Sir, the conference is about to begin. You are expected in the conference room.
Tell them I'm coming. Thank you.
Come on, Louis. The game is back on.
My friends, the conference is about to begin. Please excuse me if I troubled you last night with my project. I understand that you might well have a few questions to ask. As you know, the final vote will be cast in a few days. This morning's aim is to answer your questions and check the temperature of your respective positions so that we may reach a greater understanding.
As always, Lord Mortimer.
We parted in perfect disagreement, my lord. Where would you like us to take it from?
Come, sir. Please let William believe he still has a chance of winning us over. Otherwise, his imprecations will lack panache, and we shall be bored stiff.
Oh, let me reassure you, I am convinced that a good night's sleep has brought sound advice, and that this morning will be even more interesting. Therefore, I would like to go around the table in order to hear everyone's first impressions.
Well, I am still firmly against it, even though my choice won't count.
Against.
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 And you, Luke Manuel?
Well, you see, it is more complicated and it...
Goodbye?
Come, Gregory. Don't try to impress my guests, please.
They are not your guests.
Gregory, anyone under my roof is by definition my guest. You included. I would be very grateful if you would let my guests speak. Duke Manuel, you were saying you still had some doubts?
Well, you see, the situation has changed since last night.
What's going on here, my Lord Duke?
You see, I gave it some thought during the night. New arguments have come to light. After a discussion with Monsieur de Richet last night, I have decided that Spain will join the coalition against France and will go to war as soon as I get back. I am a man of conviction and of honor. And the way that Monsieur de Richet came to me to manipulate me into joining your side, Lord Mortimer, is unacceptable. Furthermore, I refuse categorically your project about Louisiana.
You reap what you sow, William.
I do not believe that Monsieur de Richet meant to upset you, but you have every right to react in this way.
Well, as for me, I am for Lord Mortimer's project, despite Duchess Hillsborough's overwhelmingly convincing nocturnal attentions.
What? So Emily was playing at trying to win over guests last night?
It was nothing more than a friendly little chat, of course.
How could it be otherwise? And by the way, remember me to your husband when you see him. And you, President Washington, what is your position?
For, of course.
Well, that leaves just yourself and Monsieur Peru, Louis.
You're all making me sick. Look at yourselves.
What?
You are pathetic!
Have you been drinking or what?
There you are, quibbling away. My Lord Duke this, and Madame Duchess that. You know very well that we're nothing but puppets on a damn string.
Jacques, really?
Let's end the charade. It's over.
Jacques.
My lord, thank you for everything you've done for me over the years. But it didn't come for free. And now I see the price is too high to pay. I'll stop.
Come, Jacques, we'll talk it over.
No, I'm finished. I want my freedom back, my lord. I shall no longer work for you.
Wait!
De Richet, you just can't help it, can you? Stop trying to play the hero, man!
Monsieur, I know I don't really know you, but you seem like a decent person.
I have done so many horrible things!
You blame yourself, I can see that. Everything's not lost.
I don't want to do bad things anymore.
You can take control of yourself again. You can fix whatever it is you've done.
Do you really believe that?
Of course, Jacques. You'll have all the time you need. Jacques, you're not alone.
There's nothing you can do against him.
Of course there is. We've already started.
How can you say that, knowing he's already probably gotten rid of your mother, Louis?
No, he hasn't. She's still here. She's alive, Jacques.
But...
Yes, trust me. Come on, Jacques. Stop now, before it gets any worse. Give me the gun, please.
I wasn't gonna fire at anyone, you know.
I know.
I don't want him to talk to me.
Don't worry, you're safe now, Jacques.
Monsieur Peru, you could have seriously hurt someone if Monsieur de Richet here hadn't stopped you. Your behavior is unacceptable. You would do better to go and rest in your apartment. My friends, we shall continue the conference later. I would like to apologize for the inexcusable behavior of my guest. We all need to recover from all of this excitement. Take the rest of the day off.
This is like a bad dream. For what reason?
That makes no sense at
I
all.
don't understand. I spoke to him only recently.
Monsieur Peru has lost his mind. It's obvious.
Yet another way for the French to make a spectacle of themselves. Well, once again it has worked.
My friends, let us settle down, please. We are all in shock, of course. Let us celebrate Louis's courage. He enabled us to avert a tragedy.
Yes, that was very noble of you, Louis.
You have given us all a fine lesson in courage.
Thank you.
He owes you his life. That's quite something.
That madman deserves to die.
We are providing Monsieur Peru with care, but rest assured, he is no longer a danger to himself or anyone else. I think everyone needs a little rest. Can you stay a moment?
Of course.
Louis, I wanted to thank you personally. I admire what you did to save Monsieur Peru's life. You have given us all a wonderful lesson in courage.
Don't mention it, my lord. You would have done the same. I was just quicker.
Ah, humility is a fine quality, sir.
Where is he now?
In his room. I've sedated him. I don't want him trying to take his life again. Or, worse yet, attacking one of the guests. When in despair, Monsieur Peru is clearly a dangerous man.
Tell me, my lord, can you think of any reason why he would be so terrified of you?
Terrified? Come now, that's a bit harsh. I think he was simply unable to put things into perspective. I see no reason to fear me. Ask President Washington. I don't believe I'm such a difficult friend.
Having spoken to him, I can assure you that he feared you even more than death itself. Had he disappointed you in any way recently?
Of course, he was on the edge. He was desperate, and it grew noticeable in his work. Our collaboration was probably coming to an end, but I certainly didn't feel the need to threaten him, ever.
But without you, no more support, no more money. It was an end to his social status. If you lost, he lost everything, didn't he?
No, not his life.
Thanks to me, I guess. On that note, my lord, I'll be leaving you. Have we covered everything?
Absolutely. Oh, Louis, one more thing, please. I wanted to thank you for your support during the conference. You've made the right choice, and it gives me tremendous satisfaction to have you with me on this project.
And much good may it do you, my lord. But look at the voters. It needs to be unanimous. And we just lost Peru. The battle is already lost, if you ask me.
Trust me, Louis. We still have a few more cards to play. You'll see. Anything can happen in politics.
I'll see you later, my lord.
I'll see you later, Louis.
I already mentioned it yesterday. Either to you or to someone else. Impossible to tell with you people.
Yes, sir.
Your yes is not sufficient. Tell the others, for crying out loud.
Monsieur Bonaparte.
Louis, once again, bravo for what you did. If it weren't for you, Peru would have blown his brains out. You've got courage. I like this. We just lost a vote for the next conference, and we already had fewer votes than Holm. I must absolutely find a solution.
Excuse me, sir, but given recent events, I find it somewhat cavalier to return to your political preoccupations so quickly.
Yes, I know. You must find me inhumane. But what can I do? We are here to decide upon the fate of our nations, Louis. It is time you realize what is at stake here. I hold nothing against Monsieur Peru personally, but what concerns me most right now is to not lose sight of the objectives of this meeting. In short, we haven't a minute to lose. I'll leave you now.
Just a minute. What did Duchess Hillsborough propose last night?
Oh, nothing worth worrying about. The pretty little pudding eater found no better tactic than to threaten me. She would have been better off sliding into my bed. At least we wouldn't have wasted part of the night talking for nothing.
Shut up, or I will not hesitate to make you eat your words.
Louis, you really must learn to conceal your weaknesses better, if you don't want your foes to use them against you. In our profession, it's dangerous to show any vulnerability. Anyway, don't worry about last night. The discussion between the Duchess and myself was innocent and conducted with only the most honorable intentions. Now, Louis, time is running short, and as I said, I'm in a hurry. I have to go now. I will see you later.
Maître Jacques Perru.
Sorry, sir, but you cannot go through. We have very clear instructions from Lord Mortimer. Monsieur Perru must rest.
Monsieur Napoléon Bonaparte. Duchess Emily Hillsborough. No answer. Nothing.
Emily? Emily, are you there? Emily!
Yes. Louis, is that you?
Yes, let me in.
I'm sorry, Louis. I don't feel very well. I'll see you later.
Are you sure everything's all right? Are you still there? Emily? Emily, are you there? Emily!
Yes. Louis, is that you?
Yes, let me in.
I'm sorry, Louis. I don't feel very well. I'll see you later.
Are you sure everything's all right? Are you still there?
Duke Manuel Godoy.
Monsieur de Richet, I have no time. I was about to join Sir Gregory. Come back later.
I wanted to talk to you a moment and...
I am expected. I'm sorry. We shall talk later.
Duke Manuel Godoy. Huh, that's me. Monseigneur, His Eminence Cardinal Piaggi. Huh, that's me. Huh, that's me. Next time, I'll listen to my mother. Not a day has gone by without something happening to me. What now?
Louis, open up, please.
Coming, Mr. President, I'm coming.
Louis! Ah, there you are at last.
Yes,
I just saw your mother. She was accompanied by Emily, and they both went into the Duchess's room. I tried to join them, but I was refused entry. Louis, this does not bode well.
Oh, shit. Emily might want to avenge her sister. I must act quickly.
You're right, Mr. President. Thank you.
Duke Manuel Godoy. Duchess Emily Hillsborough. I do believe that's Emily's voice. I can't understand what she's saying. I can't open it. It must be blocked on the other side. I'll have to find another way in, quick. Monsieur Napoleon Bonaparte. My dearest son, I'm writing. It's a beautiful weapon. A lovely damask blade. It's marked with the initials of the manufacturer in Versailles. Monsieur Napoleon Bonaparte. I have to get inside Emily's room through the... Shit! It's locked. No way. It's too sturdy. It's as if there are several people inside.
Once again, you're the one who's the victim in all this.
A letter from William the Younger, addressed to Emily. He's the present Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Two coils circle the lock.
I know you inside out. Stop. We'll end up losing everything. Dear Gregory, thank you for the information. I've managed to find out about the names you gave me. George Washington is a man you can trust. In spite of his obvious talent for politics, he has remained upright and honest. On the other hand, as you may well know, he is already doing business with Lord Mortimer. It will be more difficult to approach him. Napoleon Bonaparte was unknown to me until today. He's a passionate young French soldier for whom Mortimer predicts a promising future. Take heed. He is a man of conviction, which to my mind makes him potentially dangerous. As for Sarah de Richet, what more is there to say? You already know each other. She was apparently invited by Lord Mortimer about an ongoing matter in Paris that concerns a receiver in stolen art. See you soon. Duchess Emily Hillsborough.
I've retrieved everything.
What on earth is... You... Mother?
How dare you do this to me? You can talk. After everything I've done for you. You are joking, I hope, right? I gave you my life. That's enough, Emma. Now that Louis is here, you will leave Sarah alone. Cease your revenge immediately. What? If you think you're going to...
Louis, help me, I beg you. I can no longer reason with her. I am Emily. Quit playing games. What? Honestly, don't be ridiculous. No. I am Emily. You are wasting your time. Louis knows very well how to tell us apart. After everything we've been through together.
Yes, well...
Don't you dare bring him into this. This is between you and me. I ask for nothing more, so stop taking it out on Sarah. You prissy little bitch! How dare you! Now that I've told you everything, you want to take my place, do you? You are joking, I hope. I'm the one who told you everything that's been going on while you were away. Go on, then. That's what you want, isn't it? You want to kill me. Go on, then. Shoot! After all the trouble I've gone through to find you. Go on. What are you waiting for? Here, Louis, take this.
Wait, what's going...
An entire life for this. Go on, shoot. Sorry, Louis, I can't shoot her. She's my sister. That's enough, Emma. Louis, out of the way. She's dangerous. Don't trust her. What are you trying to do? Louis, out of the way. I am not Emma. Come on, Louis, tell her who the real Emily is.
Wait,
That's right, Louis. I'm fed up with this little game. Tell him who the real Emily is.
Why do these things always happen to me?
Well, Louis, come on, you know how to tell us apart, right?
Yes, but I'd like to ask you a few questions to make sure there's no doubt.
Rational and open, Louis. Let's see. How can I tell them apart? Wait, I've got an idea.
On the night of our arrival... On the wharf, something happened to me. What was it?
A malaise. The moment you arrived, you felt ill, and I offered to help while Piaggi went up. And you turned me down flat.
Right. Let's find something else. Ah, yes. Let's speak about my arrival at the manor.
When we arrived at the manor, someone was already present in the Great Hall. Who was it?
George Washington, President of the United States, Louis. Of course you are able to reply. I'm the one who told you.
Very well.
Let's try something else.
On the first night, we went up to bed, but I wasn't tired. I went for a little stroll. Before going to bed, I went for a stroll. Did we speak to each other during that stroll?
A stroll? Through my room in the middle of the night? You call that a stroll, Louis?
No, I grant you that. I just wanted to make sure. What did we say to each other at that precise moment in time?
I asked you what you were doing there, what you were playing at on the balcony, and if it was anything to do with the Golden Order.
And then?
Then I suggested you first ask permission the next time you wanted to go through my room. But she knows all that, Louis. I already told her. Don't think you're going to get away with this deception so easily. I can assure you, you're going to regret pretending to be me once Louis has exposed you.
Right. I don't think I'll get very far like this. I'll have to find something better.
Oh, I don't think I'll even wait until he's finished.
Take it easy now.
Are you mad, Louis?
Lower your arm.
I better act quickly if I don't want things to get out of hand.
Come on, she's putting one over on you. Look at yourself, for crying out loud. You were prepared to shoot me down.
in the secret room behind the study. Talk to them about what you've been doing. Maybe they haven't spoken about it between each other yet.
On the night of the disappearance of Elizabeth Adams.
What about it? What do you want to know about that night?
Before going to bed, we found ourselves in an odd situation.
You surprised me searching through Mortimer's secret gallery, behind the chimney. You were looking for clues about your mother. That's enough! I've had enough of this charade. Louis, there's only one way to tell us apart. There's just one thing I didn't tell her about in detail. Too bad for you, Emma. I didn't want it to come to this, but you leave me no choice. Ask her about you and I. You just lost, Emma. I indeed didn't tell you everything about it. Come, Louis. Speak about our intimacy.
Very well. Let's talk about us. Describe last night, please.
Oh, it was hardly my finest hour. Now you're embarrassing me.
I'm sorry, but I need to know.
I came to see you to spend the rest of the night with you, but you were tired and preferred to decline my invitation. What did you do? I know I never spoke to you about it, but judging by your reaction, it was just as well. And Louis did not succumb to my charms anyway.
You slut!
That's enough, both of you. Now I know who the real Emily is.
It's you, Emily.
No, Louis! She is manipulating you!
No, Emma. It's her. I know it. Despite all the trouble you've gone to put one over on me, I know it is her.
That's enough now, Emma. You little slut! Don't think you are going to get away with this so easily. You are going to stop your little game right now. Never! I am Duchess Hills. No!
Emily?
I am the Duchess.
But...
You don't! Dear God, what have I done? See what you've done. See?
Louis?
Mother!
What on earth is...
Go away! You must go. Everyone is going to arrive.
Louis, what's going on?
Duchess? Is everything all right?
Come on, Louis. There's nothing more you can do.
But I...
Leave us.
Emily, what's going on?
Mother, go to the crypt. I'll meet you there.
I'll be waiting for you.
Emily.
Madam, I am coming in.
It was bound to end like this, Louis. Let me stay with her. Please, go. I'll cover you.
What? What are you doing there? Stop!
God damn it. Now what's going on? Good God! They're all here. They must have heard the gunshot.
Where is Lord Mortimer?
Can anyone hear anything through the door?
Did you hear that? I was not dreaming, was I?
Certainly not, Duke Godoy.
What's going on?
Someone had the bang coming from the Duchess's room, and she isn't answering.
Gentlemen, go back to your rooms. You know what this is all about. Thank you.
golden elixir. Honey. I couldn't have hoped for better.
Louis! At last, there you are.
Mother, wait,
Come, we have to be quick.
No, wait, Mother,
Time is running out, Louis. First, we must...
No! That's enough. I won't go a step further unless you explain to me what is going on here. I'm begging you. Talk to me.
You must trust me, my son. You are not ready yet.
You are the one who should trust me. Tell me what's happening.
You would never believe me.
I came all the way here for you. Now I've found you. I'm ready, Mother.
If only... Louis, I have always taught you to keep your mind open and logical. I know you are going to find it hard to believe, but what I am going to reveal to you is entirely true. Many years ago, I found out that demons really do live among us.
I beg your pardon?
And that they can influence our thoughts.
Mother, listen to yourself. I know you're exhausted, but for crying out loud, listen to what your demons? An ancient monster with a head? What do your demons look like?
No, these are not. Imagine them more as parasitic. They possess their hosts.
Parasitic
Yes, they are. And two of them are.
Right. I'd put my money on the boogeyman and Father Christmas.
Do you really believe that I'm joking here? Many years ago, well before you were born. Since then, when we recovered the Alizif, I was persuaded that von Burchard was working for this demon in one way, but I thought he would hand the book to... That's where I made an error. The one who Burchard was meant to give the book to was none other than the demon in person, Mortimer. Not to mention that Holm had sent Volner to get it for him.
Holm and Mortimer are demons?
They both seem to disagree about many things, but I'll admit I never knew exactly why. There are many of them, Louis, not just those two.
Mother, have you any proof to support any of this?
Of course, but you do too. You had everything laid out in front of you.
Mother, I shan't follow you down that path. I wouldn't be doing you any favors.
Logical and open, Louis. Tell me then, how can anyone own properties all over the world for centuries by always signing documents with the same signature?
Well, I can find 10 other explanations less eccentric than demonic possession, Mother.
How come the Mortimers have had only one male heir for each generation since the Third Crusade?
Forgery, family rights, where they get rid of the daughter. There are dozens of less extravagant possibilities.
How could one man motivate so many future leading figures of the day on his silly island without anyone finding out about it? Even the Golden Order isn't capable of that.
Well, he's simply better than us, and he's welcome to it.
You refuse to open your eyes, Louis.
You've lost your objectivity, Mother.
I saw him.
What do you mean you saw him?
I was 20 years old. I was young and carefree. I traveled the world in search of adventure. In the Persian Gulf, we came across an ancient grimoire that became unlocked. Composed of 7 parts, each one was a book in itself, set in a sort of metal armor that structured the whole thing. When all the volumes were brought together, they formed a single book. On my return to Paris, I set to studying these pages. I spent all my days and nights studying them.
Oh, I can imagine you doing that.
But the writing was in a language I had never seen before. Developed well before Sumerian, in my opinion. So I got the idea to form a small occult circle composed of all the major names in the occult world to see if anyone else could crack it.
And you found no one.
And I found someone, Louis. I found him. Or rather, he found me. He was young, charismatic. He was flamboyant.
Wait a minute, who are you talking about? Von Borchardt?
No, Mortimer, of course. He was a veritable mine of knowledge. I showed him the book, and he was able to decipher a few passages. We spent several months together studying the pages.
He was already old in those days, wasn't he? So you recognized him when you arrived on the island, right?
No, he wasn't in that body. But I know it was him. I swear it was him. The way he spoke, his posture, a few of his intonations, his mannerisms.
Wait a minute. You were talking about 60 years ago. I've lost the thread.
Yes, sorry. He helped me understand certain passages until I realized that he only translated a few parts for me. But I had aroused his interest. It was too late.
How so?
I mean to say he manipulated me. He used me, and in the end, he stole the book with all its secrets.
Did he ever go to your place?
Not once. At least I don't think so. But before disappearing, he proposed a pact between us. He proposed that I follow him and let him teach me, allow him to bring me up.
And you accepted?
Please don't be stupid. You don't make deals with the devil. After that, I spent my whole life looking for him. 3 years later, in Berlin, I just missed him. In London, I lost 6 members of the order in a chase. In 1741, in Tunisia, I found a sect of fanatics who had crossed paths with him once. 1741, in Poland. 1749, in India.
8 years ago in Venice.
We agreed never to speak about what happened in Venice, Louis. For the moment, that is not the key issue here. Once we found the Al-Azif in Paris, I followed von Borchardt's trail here. I didn't think it would lead me straight to the demon. It was careless of me. He toyed with me for a few days, until I caught on, until I saw him as he was. But he had no intention of letting me leave. We are all his pawns, Louis, and if we don't want to spend the rest of our lives turning round in circles here, we must absolutely get off this island. All right, can we move on?
Wait a minute, one last thing. On the evening of my arrival, Cardinal Piaggi came looking for you.
More of his... Louis, I think we can sort that.
Samuel Ritter du Choix, you wanted to send...
I wanted you to... But frankly, it doesn't... Godoy is just a...
Are you going to tell me what happened to your hand?
Better than that.
What did you negotiate about the...
Absolutely nothing. I'm...
Good. I think we shall speak about...
Great action. They are playing with our... And it's time for... By the way, what was Mortimer's project at this conference?
He wants the United States to occupy all the North American territory. France should recover Louisiana and give it to the United States. In that case, the Americans would just have to push west to chase the Spanish from the continent once and for all.
And as Mortimer controls Washington, you may just as well say that it will put him at the head of a world superpower. We should do our utmost to put a stop to Mortimer's plans. But for the time being, there are more pressing matters.
Are you going to tell me why we're here?
There. That's why we are here.
reassure me, we aren't going to have to force that one, are we?
I don't think we're even capable of doing it. You're going to have to find a way to open it.
Why, of course. And what's inside?
Something to vanquish them with?
Perfect. So, how does it open?
We'll need several keys. I found a note from the architect who conceived the mechanism in Mortimer's secret study. We have to first gather 6 objects before we try anything.
Are your 6 objects the keys?
Exactly. We have the Clement III cross, the nails, the Gutenberg Bible, the exegesis of Judas, an armillary sphere, and all we need to match up the dates between the different calendars.
Why a cross?
Well, I haven't I found...
Perfect.
Unfortunately, when I looked...
Remember, Mother, I'm certain you can remember. You were running.
I was I thought... yes, I don't think it could...
Would you have lost it?
No, I don't think so.
Perfect. Some nails?
Don't ask. When I arrived, they were on the other hand...
And a golden...
Perfect. You need...
Very well.
You remember 1-1...
Of course. Exegesis...
Did you manage...
To open the...
So you've already...
Why do they...
Because that... It's... Anyway...
Thanks. Do you think...
We haven't got it...
Why a cross?
Well, I found...
Perfect.
Unfortunately, when I lost...
Well, otherwise I can...
One last thing, but be very careful. They can all potentially be... Don't ever confide in anyone
Wait, not...
Especially Washington. Look at them for... How do you explain the most influential politicians without a single aide to assist them? To participate? Me, and not one of them? You'll see. Go...
Do you think so?
Go on, and come, and remember...